I never knew there was a love like this before. And how could I, when I was looking, no searching, no digging, no scrounging around this earth, trying to attach a title like perfect to a man who didn't have as much worth? I did not look to any hills. My sights were set too low. I did not seek the Most High. All I was getting was pain, and let me tell you how far I'd go. I abused my temple and allowed sacred to become scarce, barely having enough there for myself. I would wait on a man hand and foot and then cried when the love he'd professed to me returned back to him void. I constantly took in lies like steroids, pumping myself up with the adrenaline of a fool, working myself like a work mule, using myself like a worthless tool. That man was not my husband, yes, that's true. But confused and bound, I let soul ties distort my view. And Lord, now that I know what I've been doing to you, how could I be running away from a love so true? I let my mind think thoughts that were unclean. I signed up for every roadblock, seen and unseen. I let spirits take up residence where you dwell. I expected heaven to reside right next to hell. I gave away the key to your private suite inside my heart where we always meet. But you waited for me. While I was loving blindly, you were loving me from the sidelines, still cheering me on. And I would run right past you to get to what I thought was fun. Pleasure and promise that was not marrying me, cutting off the air in my life. I could not breathe. And all along, I was your bride. But I left you parked in the garage and hopped in somebody else's ride. And you actually shed blood. I might as well have trampled your good name in the mud. I mean, you actually died. And I was begging for someone who only tried to love me to the best of their ability. But you were dedicated to loving me, and you gave it diligently, even when I broke my vow. You still took me back, and I don't even know how you could love me like that. Even when I ran away from you and turned my back, I took off my ring. I committed adultery and I had a fling. The affair wasn't fair at all. But when I got so low and needed you, you still answered my call. Even though I hung up the phone and ran into the streets chasing the next bone. You didn't deserve the things I did, but when I put myself on the auction block, yours was the highest bid. I have forsaken you so many a time, but your compassion and spotless record shows you never committed one crime. But I imprisoned you in the Bible's pages, required that you work for me, and only paid you what, slave wages? The devil became my pimp, and I was a whore to my emotions, taking pills and potions just to get right. But you were the only one there in the middle of the night when the tears started to flow. You lifted my chin every time my head got a little too low, because you knew something about me no one else seemed to know. Then once I put you first, you fed the hunger and satisfied the thirst. Once I looked to the hills, then you settled my scores and paid all my bills. Once I sought your face, you sped up my slow pace and I began winning the race. Then you gave me a most wonderful gift, a beautiful thing. You shared me with my earthly king. I want to constantly be in your perfect will. So I submit to him but surrender to you. Now, hey, that's real. You gave me the perfect circumstance in which to serve a man. You gave us covenant and wedding bands. The best intimacy ever. But first I had to be committed to you, and I promised to never look away from the first real love. The love that you shower me with daily from above. Sincerely, your Proverbs 31 girl, who you've so graciously given the heavens and the entire world.